Parental discretion is advised. If you have donated and have not received your video, shoot me an email. And don't forget to check your spam folder. Thank you. Let's get it. When it comes to biblical geography, there are so many contextual clues about certain landmarks, or in this case, watermarks. The Sea of Arabah is attributed by modern scholars to be the Dead Sea. But is it really though? Most biblical translations translate the word Arabah to plain, meaning that the Sea of Arabah is known as the Sea of the Plain. Deuteronomy 3:17 states, "The plain also, and Jordan, and the coast thereof, from Chinnereth, even unto the Sea of the Plain, even the Salt Sea, under Ashdoth Pisgah, eastward." And in the next chapter of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 49, "And all of the plain on this side, Jordan, eastward, even unto the Sea of the Plain, under the springs of Pisgah." The descriptions of Arabah are being the Sea of the Plain and also being under the springs of Pisgah. So does that mean that the charlatans are wrong about the Sea of Arabah actually being the Salt Sea, aka the Dead Sea? Are they trying to group different bodies of water into the same? The next mention of the Sea of the Plain is in the book of Joshua, chapter 12, verse 3. "And from the plain to the Sea of Chinnereth on the east, and unto the Sea of the Plain, even the Salt Sea on the east, the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and from the south under Ashdoth Pisgah." Rather than any mention of the Salt Sea or the Sea of the Plain, the word Arabah is mentioned twice in Joshua chapter 18, verse 18. Quote, "And passed along toward the side over against Arabah northward, and went down unto Arabah." The most glaring and serious issue with this classification as the modern Dead Sea, being the Sea of Arabah, is the fact that the territory and terrain surrounding the modern Dead Sea is not a plain. It is a rugged, arid, semi-mountainous desert with the propensity for very little agriculture. By definition, plains are flat and grassy and implied to be fertile, neither of which surround the modern Dead Sea. Even more contextually confusing is the usage of the word even to describe the Salt Sea, immediately following the mention of the Sea of the Plain in some examples. The word even means also or in addition to in this context. So the placement of the comma in this part of the text could allude to the Salt Sea and the Sea of the Plain actually being two different locations. Nonetheless, whether this be the case or not, the Sea of Arabah, as it is described in these verses in Joshua and Deuteronomy, is not indicative of the place we know today as the Dead Sea. One of the most enjoyable things about working on this series is that each episode is one more step to the neck of the monkly ass shysters. I thought I was going to say charlatan. I'll be learning words. What a time to be alive. The long arm of the establishment starting to look like a T-Rex. Why do we even know what a T-Rex is, but don't know the ancient history of America? They know all about these niggas and nothing about these niggas. Make it make sense. These niggas just found some big old bones buried deep in the dirt and started concocting shit like Create a Creature on Triassic 2K. Did you know there has never been a fully intact Tyrannosaurus skeleton ever found in nature? I wonder how many fully intact giant Nephilim skeletons have been found. How many massive ancient civilizations once existed in America that we have no idea about? Why were we never taught any of this in school? How can they tell you what happened 5 million years ago, but can't tell you what happened 5,000 years ago? What makes them so confident in their fuckery? Do they believe their own bullshit? Ain't no way, boy. Through the course of our journey, we have continuously learned that the established history concerning the ancient American past is in fact not so well established. Indeed, that establishment is founded upon quicksand, cursed to bury itself in the desert. Perhaps the valley of death. As the saying goes, if you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it. What if your history is a lie? How would you know you are a hamster on that wheel? Today, most of our historical information can be found on charlatans' World Wide Web. But in the past, the web of information was found in libraries and single books. Don't get it twisted. The web is still a good source of information, especially if you know how to qualify your resources. It can be tremendously beneficial. But if you're looking to get spoon-fed, regurgitated charlatan misinformation faster than Tyreek Hill on crack, then AI is the answer. It just won't be the right answer. AI is programmed to uphold the lie, but it does have cracks. If you know how to crack it. AI will give you a summary of what the book supposedly contains, but if you ever read the book for yourself, you would know that that summary is retarded at best and hot dumpster milk at worst. Not only does the information misinform, it uses the shortcut charlatan shyster quote to filter the details into an artificial statement that was designed and programmed to communicate what the programmer found suitable. For example, let's say you're reading the book of Joshua. You'll come across a couple of major landmark bodies of water that you may have never even heard of. Specifically, the Sea of Chinnereth and the Sea of Arabah, both mentioned numerous times in verses that provide contextual clues to their role as watersheds. Now, if you were to research the Sea of Chinnereth and the Sea of Arabah using AI, or even cite the top biblical scholars, they will all tell you that the Sea of Arabah and the biblical Salt Sea are actually the same body of water. And that same body of water was renamed and is currently known today as the Dead Sea. Now, if you take this information at face value, you may just assume that the biblical scholars know exactly what they're talking about. But if you're reading the book for yourself, you would realize that this is a retarded assertion and does not align with biblical geographic context in the least. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the biblical scholars are right and the book of Joshua is wrong. Or maybe they tried to square the circle with a triangle and left too many holes. Let's talk about it.